Good afternoon, friends. I trust that we are all okay this afternoon. We thank God once again for His grace and His mercy. We thank Him for the um, gift of life. This afternoon, we are looking at Genesis 28, which is a very short chapter, and we will go into it now and see what it has for us. We're still continuing with the story of Isaac and the family. Verse 1 says, So Isaac called for Jacob and blessed him. Then he commanded him, Do not marry a Canaanite woman. Go at once to Padan Aram, to the house of your mother's father Bethuel. Take a wife for yourself there from among the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. May God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and increase your numbers until you become a community of peoples. Verse 4. May He give you and your descendants the blessing given to Abraham, so that you may take possession of the land where you now reside as a foreigner, the land God gave to Abraham. Then Isaac sent Jacob out on his way, and he went to Padan Aram, to Laban, son of Bethuel, the the Aram, the, the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, who was the mother of Jacob and Esau. Now Esau learned that Isaac had blessed Jacob and had sent him to Padan Aram to take a wife from there, and that when he blessed him, he commanded, Do not marry a Canaanite woman. And that Jacob had obeyed his father and mother and had gone to Padan Aram. Esau then realized how displeasing the Canaanite woman were to his father Isaac. So he went to Ishmael and married Mahalthi, the sister of Naboyoth and daughter of Ishmael, son of Abraham, in addition to the wives he already had. Verse 10. Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. When he reached a certain place, he stopped for the night because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones there, he put it under his head and lay down to sleep. Verse 12. He had a dream in which he saw a stairway resting on earth with its top reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. There above it stood the Lord, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of your father Abraham, and the God of Isaac. I will give you and your descendants the land on which you are lying. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth, and you will spread out to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. All peoples on earth will be blessed through you and your offspring. I'm with you and will watch over you wherever you go, and I'll bring you back to this land. I'll not leave you until I've done what I've promised to you. When Jacob awoke from his sleep, he thought, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I was not aware of it. He was afraid and said, How awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. Early the next morning, Jacob took the stone he had placed under his head and set it up as a pillar and poured oil on top of it. He called the place Bethel, though the city used to be called Luz. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, If God will be with me and watch over me on this journey I am taking, and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return safely to my father's household. Then the Lord will be my God. And this stone that I have set up as a pillar will be God's house. And all that you give me, I'll give you a tenth. This is Genesis chapter 28. Isaac calls Jacob and he blesses him. And he says to him, don't marry a Canaanite woman. Go to your uncle Laban. Find a wife there. So we know the story behind him leaving his father's house. It was because of the blessings that he took, the blessings that were supposed to be his brothers, but he took them for himself. So now he has to run away. He has to flee because his brother has said that as soon as his father dies, he's going to kill him. So Rebekah, being the plotter again, plotted and convinced Isaac that Jacob needed to go to Laban, his brother, so that he would not be attracted to the Canaanite women, so that he can marry from his brother's house, not a woman from Canaan. So Isaac buys the idea and he blesses Jacob, and Jacob leaves he leaves Canaan to go to his uncle's place. And Isaac blesses him and he says that, may God bless you, be fruitful and increase your numbers until you become a community of peoples. So as a father, he blesses him. And he says that, may God increase your numbers. And he says that, may God give you, your descendants, a blessing which he promised to Abraham. And he says, so that you can take possession of this land that God gave to Abraham. So as Abraham's grandson, my prayer is that you benefit from this land. You take it for yourself as well. So Isaac was doing his duty as the father to bless his son and make sure that he marries from a place that was ideal, not from Canaan, where they worshipped other gods, where they worshipped idols. And Jacob listened and he left, although it wasn't the reason, it wasn't the main reason why he was leaving his father's household. It was because of the blessings that he had taken. But anyway, he obeyed and did not marry any of the Canaanite women. And that's the reason why his father kind of loved him at this time, that he obeyed and did not marry from the Canaanites. What does this teach us? Sometimes young people think they know best. Parents will sometimes say, don't marry from that place, don't marry from that family. And there will be a reason why they say those things. Sometimes young people don't listen. Children don't listen. And sometimes it doesn't end very well. So parents know better. When they say don't go there, as children, let's make sure that we obey. It will be for our own good. And as we continue with this story, Esau heard that his brother was moving to his uncle's place because they didn't want him to marry the Canaanite women. He himself had married Canaanite women, and his parents were not happy with them. It could be because of the culture that they had brought to the household or to the home. Maybe they were worshipping their idols. They were doing things that were not done in this godly home. But the parents were powerless because Esau loved his wives. But they didn't hide it. They showed him that they were displeased. And so he saw it himself as well. But I guess as a stubborn person, as someone who had loved these women, he didn't do anything about it. But instead, he went and married another woman. The daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's other son. We are not told anything about her, and we don't know how she was, whether she was better than these Canaanite women, but we're not told anything. But he did, it looks like he did it himself, and he didn't even involve his parents, which is something that wasn't the right thing also. Because as young people, as children, when we are going into marriage, we should involve our parents. Our parents should know our friends, those that we are going to marry. They should know them. They should know their families, so that they will assess as older people to see if you are marrying into a family that will be good for you and probably good for them as well. So let's involve our parents. Let's not leave them out. Let's involve them. We need their wisdom. And Jacob leaves the home and goes to his uncle's place. On the way, he gets tired. And we are told that Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. And he got to this place, and it was at night. The sun had set, so he decided to get a stone and then sleep and rest and continue the following day. And when he was sleeping, he had a dream. He saw a stairway resting on earth, which stopped reaching to heaven, and the angels were ascending and descending. And then above the stairway, he saw God standing there. And God said to him, I am the Lord your God. I'm Lord, the God of your father Abraham and the God of Isaac. And he says to him, I'll give you this land where you are lying. I'll give it to you. Your descendants will be like the dust of the earth. This is God speaking to Jacob. And he says to him, all people will be blessed by your offspring, by your descendants. And the verse 15 is the most important one. It says, I'm with you and will watch over you. What an assurance that God gives to Jacob. He says that I will watch over you and watch over you wherever you go. And I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I've done what I've promised you. God says, I will watch over you. I will not leave you until I've accomplished my plans, the plans that I have for you. What a statement that God makes to Jacob, an assurance that he gives him. And Jacob, when he woke up, he says that surely the Lord was in this place and he wasn't even aware of it. And then he names this place the gate of heaven. He was so grateful and thankful for what God had done for him. The next morning, he takes a stone that he had placed under his head and set it up as a pillar and poured oil on it. He called that place Bethel. Then Jacob made a vow, saying, if God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey I am taking, and will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that I return to my father's household, then the Lord will be my God. It says, if God does these things, then he will be my God. And this stone that I've set up as a pillar will be God's house. And all that you give me, I'll give you a tenth. So he makes promises that, God, if you do these things for me, I will be your child also. And this place where I am will be your house. And I will give you a tenth of everything that you will give me. Jacob makes these promises. What we learn from this, God is always waiting for us to come to him. And he says to us, I will make you a nation, or I'll make you a people that will be a blessing to other people. So, but he gives us conditions that we should be connected to him. We should follow his commandments, and then he will bless us, just like he blessed Jacob. So my message to us is that let's study God's word. Let's find out what he wants us to do, and let's do it. And these promises that he made to Jacob will be ours. And God will surely say to us, like what he said to Jacob, he will say to us, if we keep his commandments. He will say to us, I am with you, or I will be with you, and I will watch over you wherever you go. God will make those promises to us as long as we keep our side of the bargain. Let's think about these things. Let's do what God asks us to do. Let's keep his commandments. He will watch over us. May God bless us.